getting out of the way. Commander, I need the room to properly dissect this traitor.
What? No, that's not... Someone help me!
Wrist weapon prime!
Way I see it, you lay claim to an entire world, you best be ready to defend that claim. Got something that needs doing, Commander?
There's anything worse than my former fellow Protectorate subjects, it's corporate toadies.
Initiate Carrington, audio log entry, 10. My orders were to watch for the enemy. Specifically, to never break line of sight to my assigned field of view. But I can hear them advancing along the shore to the south. It's fine. Others have been assigned that field of vision. This is the most efficient method of defense. Architect, they're getting closer. Perhaps I'm taking my orders too literally? I'll just peek. No. Trust in the equation. Trust in those greater than I in the order. I will keep looking forward for enemies from that vector. I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I have faith that the architect...
This one appears to have been too terrified to even look at us. I almost feel bad killing him. Almost.
And now, additional data and/or music determined to facilitate cognition. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination. Determined, you're listening.
Have any knowledge of corporations before the invasion? Besides some general teachings we had as children that they existed and were detrimental to humanity. As much as I abhor most things they fill dark gray matter with, I must agree with this. Corporations offer only pre-packaged emptiness. Fortunately, the dawn offers perfection.
Perfect insanity, maybe.
Our predictions help guide our people's lives with peak efficiency from cradle to grave. Stay tuned for what follows. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by. This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. Fellow esteemed members of the Order of the Ascendant allocated to Golden Ridge. As foreseen, recent conflicts between the Protectorate, Auntie's Choice, and ourselves have resulted in notable detrimental effects throughout this region, including but not limited to the loss of Fort Endurance, disabling of the trinicular, 9% effective sleep cycles per evening, right before you succumb to a sense of malaise that take heart from these additional points.
restore my life or avenge. Gas still recharging. Help me end this fight on my feet.
So do we. Our work continues.
End message with an emphatic sign-off such as, "You'll never be sad when you're out." Finish message as a note to self. Make sure it aloud.
Or avenge my death! I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Dedicated to all the innovative minds in the Department of Applied Scientism from their admiring cohort in the Department of Research and Inquiry.
Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency. In playlists is not. Now for a new song.
The color of space, a chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space. The famous stellar...
In playlists is not. Now for a new song.
The color of space. Chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Otiscard replied, with no hesitation, beige. To experienced lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can only briefly, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No. Of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which there are no understand the typical piece of non-heating absorbs most electromagnetic...
Not quite charged yet. Someone talk for a minute.
Step aside, swine.
And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb. So they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission is mostly infrared and not visible to us without proper instrumentation, which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue.
Armed and ready.
So why are there no green stars, you wonder? I would think the listeners could easily draw this trivial conclusion for themselves, but if I must... It's because any star emitting green light also emits fluid.
Captain, ready? This might sting.
That emits... In fact, such a composition itself would...
Aside, swine.
No such evidence of any kind.
Looks like a fight.
Let's get back to Newton Otiscard, the famous stellar photographer. The methodology of the Otiscard chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in every grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within...
Crashing upon it.
Feel the benefits of spending your bits. the junction of opportunity and runaway gumption, you'll hear Wireless-Free Arcadia, featuring product advertisements specifically tailored to free-thinking individuals. We here at Wireless-Free Arcadia make on-air misstatements.
Look alive, Commander.
In last Sunday's weekend P&L report for the previous Saturday, we inadvertently misquoted a junior VP of conveyor sprockets.
All charged up. Wasn't intentional.
I'm alive.
The decline was only 1.8% and wholly due to human error. Moving on, a recent report on a new scrapped-up condiment substitute currently rolling out to test markets claimed the product was 110% real Sprat flavor. Correction, Sprats Up actually contains real Sprat flavorings. Still a mite tangy, though. That part's 110% correct. Okay, enough corrections. So we made a few mistakes. No need to keep harping on them for law's sake. Now, on to other things. This is one of my favorites, though admittedly I'm far from discerning.
Well, these cultists ain't dumb. First thing you do after seizing an objective is bar the front door. But there's always another way inside.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Say, hold up.
Now this is just sloppy. If I wasn't already here to kill all these traitorous fools, I'd be forced to use one or two as an example to the rest.
Whoosh! That's the sound of me throwing caution to the wind. While the herd wait for permission, I see my opportunity and take it. I hand make my own luck. Don't follow the herd. Eat Purple Berry Crunch by Auntie's Choice. Every flavor-filled morsel is packed with the pep and tenacity you need to succeed. Are you a get-up-and-go-getter? Right. Moving on. This is for anyone
We
out
can
there who
hear
just
those
lost out on
wrinkly
a
little
big
grub
promotion.
fingers of yours. Bring them close so we can chop them off.
Stop your silliness, fool! The only ones losing body parts around here today are you and your traitorous friends!
I can lend you all the bits you'll ever need. But the role that you request includes compound interest in addition to my standard service fees. Oh, the uncomplicated loan. And my rates are never low.
0.36 cubed divided by the standard rate of fluid flow, and then you multiply by, is it 30 or? Oh, hello.
Look at the state of this poor fool. They just left her bleeding out? Exsanguination is an art. Where's the precision, the pride in their work? This is just embarrassing.
There's a cultist behind you. Wait, surely she isn't with you.
Yes, everybody knows that I...
No, of course not.
The uncomplicated loner.
Oh, dear Archivist Clemens has been so strange lately. So distant, so agitated. And not his normal agitation, mind you. This is something different. Much worse.
If there's a cost...
He's like a wire stretched beyond its breaking point. Never a harsh word to anyone, but being in his presence, well, it's as if his stress is infectious. Best not to push him. He's deeper in the facility, working on something he deemed to be of the utmost importance. Either he is still below, continuing said work, or he is quite dead. And with all those cultists gallivanting about, I don't fancy his odds.
Please, with the way my so-called brethren are comporting themselves, he's more likely to die of boredom. If I was in charge here, all of you'd be dead. He soon will be.
Yes. I'm sure you'll kill them quite well. That's all right. That's all right. Blood is optional, regardless. The crazed cultist, people like your friend here have been sowing destruction throughout the range for days. I've seen few firsthand, but that isn't because they've gone. Rather, I believe they have become visibility deficient. There's no such thing as invisibility. I can only theorize that their visual forms were sent out of phase when they haphazardly tampered with pressurized N-rays.
Their actions are inexcusable. Science allows us to unveil the wonder of the rifts. We do not disrespect it. Now, is there any science around here we can use to find and kill them?
It's a shame the facility is in shambles. We have an N-ray scanner device that may render the cultists far easier for one to locate.
To address all the hubbub over these rifts, Arcadia's yaysayer...
The scanner is an optical device designed to detect electrical signals and the N-rays given off by all living beings. Visible or not, the cultists still give off N-rays. It was stored nearby. But with the damage to the facility, you'll likely need to use the maintenance vent on the wall there behind the screen to get anywhere near it.
Upside, I have full confidence.
Don't worry. I'll just be here, in my deepening puddle of blood.
Innovate a profitable use for them. Rifts could be leveraged in negotiations.
Is that you, presiding bishop? I'm sorry, I haven't had time to clean up. It's so hard to get bloodstains out of our uniforms.
That's your job, VPs. Auntie's job is to keep you motivated.
I really must be in a bad way if you're being nice to me. You're usually about as pleasant as an acid bath.
Now, on to other things. Next up, something reasonably peppy. Please consult your employee handbook to determine if dancing is presently allowed.
On Old Towshetty Prime, a mile beneath the methane ice, way down in the mine. From sugar little small, forgotten
Commander.
Greenhorns they survive.
Innovate a profitable use for them.
Is that you, Presiding Bishop? My.
Or to gatekeep trade routes. The R&D potential. Seriously, think of it. That's your job, VPs. Auntie's job is to keep you motivated. The threat of extinction is the mother of invention, after all.
Now, on to other things. This one goes out to all those aspiring to climb the rungs of their department. May you ascend swiftly through talent or guile.
Looking a mite marginal, Commander.
Hey, that must be the scanner there.
When all is consumed, all will become.
Rough customers about.
All charged up. First weapon prime.
That should do it.
Let's get on with the killing.
You've opened the way forward. Very good work.
Oh, an enemy.
Commander, you're bleeding!
On this episode of Big Game Hunter, we go bug hunting on the Elysium moon of Dorado.
I'm Pierce Huntley, VP of Xenobiological Exploitation. For the past fiscal year, I've been on a profit safari across the Arcadia system, helping everyone from lower management to members of the board.
Hey, that must be the scanner there.
Every episode, I focus on a different species to tell you the risks. Watch out for its tusks! The rewards. Don't see a Raptidon venom sac like that every day.
Aggressors in range.
Where to go?
Brings to the table.
Charge for mayhem!
I'm coming for you!
The universe is full of things that want to kill you. But what doesn't kill you is your net worth. This is Big Gain Hunter. Brought to you by Auntie's Choice Lift-Off Laxative. And every washroom mission with a successful splashdown.
Bit of a convoluted way to unlock a door, but I'll take it.
I'm on Dorado, soaking up solar power.
You've opened the way forward. Very good work.
Too bad all that glitters here is fool's gold. But we're prospecting for a different kind of patient. A creature with 8 legs and 2 venomous injectors. The Barachnia.
Looks like a fight.
Gives me a limp.
All on the wrist. This might sting. A lot. Release the arc, correct.
This system needs an exterminator.
Wrist weapon? Step aside. Swine. This might sting. Not yet. Hold on. Both eyes open.
Leave at once.
Guess we better have a look.
You there. You must leave. Is that a cultist with you?
Don't worry. I'm not like these idiots running around here haplessly. If I was here to kill you, it would be no random thing. You'd know it. Are we here to kill this guy, Commander?
Whole colony in one fiery swoop. And don't underestimate traps. Arachnids don't have the greatest skin.
Good point. We'll kill him after we get the information.
I have nothing to say to the likes of you, except if you attempt to interrupt my work, you will no doubt meet the same end as your fellows. Leave, and you may yet live.
This guy is hilarious. Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes how much more worried he should have been about me than all the other nonsense around here.
Get you a cup of dehydrated water. Time to blast off this bug-infested rock. So with that, I raise a glass of Spectrum Red and bid you bottoms up to your life.
More quality broadcasting coming right up. This is one of my favorites, though admittedly I'm far from discerning.
Victor, I fully understand the importance of your work. This is exactly why I push you so. Your moral justifications for delaying your delivery are misguided. Dead is dead. What matter is it if their ends come in 1 minute or 3? If you seek to be humane in your duties, fine. So long as I get the explosives in time. But if we fail to act, the order will be lost forever. Collateral damage was always inevitable, Victor. You knew this. And the longer you take in your laboratory, the greater your risk of being caught becomes. If that happens, you know what must be done. But I should remind you that such a failure will result in vastly more suffering for all parties involved. We need those explosives now, Victor. Let's finish this.
Isolated you from my hand. How dare you hamper my ascension with your distantness?
Might have a problem.
Soon enough.
That wasn't intentional.
Trouble ahead.
I'm coming for you!
Enter! Recharge the mayhem! I've been known to hold a grudge.
Straight up!
Results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. Go for it. Stare at the nondescript walls of your library.
that little sprat in his corrugated metal cage. Why don't you unlock the door and come out? Nobody's here.
You cannot threaten one's wealth with obliteration.
That wasn't intentional.
I'm coming for you!
Greater ally than many number of fellow scientists. Oh, thank you very, very much for dealing with those cults. It seems you missed one.
What? Where? I thought we dispatched with all of those traitorous charlatans.
I can see it would be best for me to tactically overlook your comrade. Very well. I see you possess our N-ray scanner. Ooh, ingenious device. If I'd had it, I may have evaded being trapped here. Oh, I shouldn't have had to worry. Damn that Victor, and damn his hubris. Fitting that his experiment would cause so much strife that he would be untouched by the ensuing pandemonium. Pardon my excitement. It's been an eventful day. I don't know the specifics, only that Victor was performing a procedure utilizing processed N-rays. When those cultists flooded the range, they damaged the N-ray canisters. In the ensuing chaos, Victor's experiment was destroyed. I know some cultists were killed, but many more still live, moving unseen through the range. Survived is something of an overstatement. Most of the cultists died immediately upon exposure, and according to past experiments, those that haven't are experiencing accelerated organ liquefaction. I would be more sympathetic to their collective plight, and they not promise to insert every item in this room down my throat in reverse alphabetical order. Because he refused to follow procedure. He didn't take an assistant or allow anyone to see his data, and now it's all consigned to oblivion. What a waste. Oh, believe me, this is more excitement than I ever wanted. I shall.
once again ask you to stop. The path ahead is filled with unseen traps. Whether cultist or wayward scientist, you will be killed. I cannot afford your interruption. Once more, please cease. Must I say only death lies ahead? Observe, you have been personified. That is over. Please. I never wanted this situation to escalate like this. You must understand. But now, all that I wanted is cast to the wind. There is but one option left to me. To save Arcadia, to ensure the future, we must both die. Because the Order cannot be hindered by war or by compromise. Any obstacles must be removed, as much as I regret the need to do so. If DeVries does not receive my explosive, she will resort to a violent assault. Many will die, pointlessly, and in agony. I can at least deliver them an instant, painless death. I thought this explosive vest would be an unnecessary precaution. All I can hope is that by blasting us both from the field of play, the Order shall find its way to truth. Want has nothing to do with it. I have very specific instructions on how to proceed in the face of contingencies such as yourself. And you cannot possibly understand whether I am or am not capable of martyrdom. You do not know my depth of character. At the end of all things, my decisions were predestined. I am not at liberty to divulge the reasoning behind my actions. You're not with the Order. You cannot understand why this would be. Could I explain, the words would be lost on you. Your verbiage does not conceal the gaps in your knowledge. But the presiding bishop has taught us that ignorance is not a punishable sin. If the Order is not prevented from reaching its true potential and solves the universal equation, all scientific uncertainty and any associated suffering will end. But surely, over time, these deviations would subside? Though I do not seek the abolition of free will, no. No, humanity would do what is best for itself. I'm sure. DeVries opened my eyes. The Order is on the path to absolute truth. And if they are not interrupted, this truth can be pursued. The one right path for humanity revealed to us. Politics cannot bind us. Uncertainty cannot strangle. And no one can be allowed to waltz in and hurl our plans into disarray. What? How do you not understand the present situation? What coward would strap an explosive device to himself? No, that's not all this. Helping DeVries, completing the work on my explosives is important. It matters. DeVries agrees. I don't want to admit it. As we've spoken, I've fought harder and harder to justify what we're doing. But you're right. I can't fight you any longer. I still believe there are acceptable risks, acceptable losses. But all of this is beyond acceptable. I've been a fool going along with this farce. But it stops now. My relationship with Augustine is at an end.
This poor fool seemed intent on doing himself and us both. Impressive work convincing him otherwise. What say I have a go at him with my disemboweling knife? See what he knows. Might want to stand back. This could get messy. If I do it right. Now then, Victor. Let's you and me conversate about your friend and her plans. I knew the little fellow was lacking in fortitude, but I must admit to a certain inexplicable dismay at how quickly he passed. Maybe my enthusiasm just got the better of me. Still able to get what we needed, though. Seems he was trying to find a way to send explosive devices out of phase so they could remain undetected once placed. He was a little hard to understand at the end there, but I think he wanted to make sure the people were killed instantly and didn't suffer. As if that would have mattered to them. Of course I am. Just, a little more exertion than I was expecting. Need to learn to pace myself. Let's move on. I'm certain there's more killing to be done elsewhere. you going? Our task here is yet unfinished. There are still traitorous swine drawing breath. I suppose you know what you are doing, but we'll need to return eventually to finish this lot off.
Suck it, chew it, you can do it! Anti-Fizzo's Purple Berry Crunch. The K means it's authentic. Now with 110% of your... chemicals and preservatives.
The cultist known as Azza has been admitted to the ship roster. Among her registered weapons is what she refers to as her disemboweling knife. This unit reminds the commander that anticoagulants are your first line of defense when injury occurs.
Vara, you owe me a sparring session. Get your gloves and warm up.
What? Again? Don't suppose you'd accept a doctor's note from Val.
Come on. I already promised I won't throw elbows this time. Where's your fighting spirit?
Must have had it knocked clean out of me. In fact, why don't I go look for it now?
Ain't gonna climb the corporate ladder with that attitude. You could just learn to duck, you know.
I'm all for giving folks a chance, but a cultist, Commander? Really? Sure. About as harmless as a failing air recycler. Leaving all else aside, the problem is that we don't know this woman, and she's not giving us much cause to trust her. In fact, I say it's just the opposite. Make light if you like, Commander, but I'll be watching for that knife of hers. Anyway, I've said my piece. All I'm asking is to be mindful. Don't let her lure you to any undisclosed locations alone. Take Val when you go out together, at the very least.
Trying real hard not to be insubordinate-like, Commander. But this Azza, she ain't right in the head. We got enough to worry about as it is, and adding this much chaos to our little crew can't end well. You sure we ought to be helping her? There's a difference between daydreaming about smacking sense into someone and actually endeavoring to disembowel them. I'll try to keep an open mind, Commander. But if she comes at me with a knife, I ain't gonna be the one left bleeding. Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out.
What do you need, Commander? Who exactly? Niles? He's fun to torment. I mean, he's equal parts enthusiastic and naive, even with all he's gone through. I find her amusing. In a best not to torment her or she'll kill us all kind of way, which I completely respect. Not only does she possess more heart than your standard corporatist flunky, she's a great deal smarter as well. Don't tell her I said so. Such as? If there's anything worse than my former fellow protectorate subjects, it's corporate toadies. Such as?
between protectorate...
It's Fibonacci from Liber of Arcee. Fibonacci is a sequence in which each number is of the two preceding ones. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 13, 4, 55, 89, 1, 44, and so on.
Please,
And
somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately. My family and I, we was making our way to the Mercy camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please.
Go on, ask a vicar. A listener asks, how does...
I don't... Vary, by my guess. She was bit on the thigh, high, like, can see bone. Or maybe white means infected? She's screaming all the time when she's awake. Then she goes to sleep. She's in agony. And my son ain't waked since the attack. Hurry, please. We must hurry or they'll be eaten. Or worse.
Undetermined constant. But by using a single data point from their life event list, we can assign a value to that constant, leading to a simple to use, simple to understand.
No! You're not caring. We'll kill them.
Accuracy, and we can use the result.
You've changed your mind. Thank the Void. They gonna die without help.
I knew you'd understand. In fact, I predicted it. Until next time, keep your queries coming.
Stay tuned for what follows.
My family and I, we had... Please help us. Ain't nothing I... Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this way. This way.
Get him, boy. I'll take care of him, Commander.
Aggressor at hand. Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Get him, boys. Get him, boys.
Don't make me bury another agent. Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
Soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. Though our current cordiality with Auntie's Choice continues to hold, remain certain that every department stands united and ready should conflict recommence. Why, simply recall the precision of our air defenses against low-flying craft, augmented by our Sears technology combined with the deft skills of our exemplars. This keen partnership not only forced our rapacious rivals to drop supplies from high orbit, but sent their ground troops scampering into scattered lines of hastily dug trenches. So much for their baseless conjecture that bookish theoreticians, a tidier paraphrasing of their colorful invective, couldn't hold their own on the battlefield.
Thought we were getting here in time.
The order bids you welcome, but also warning.
Whatever that was falling out of the sky.
In light of the recent attack on Auntie's Choice, you may want to make haste to Matriarch's Mercy. It's just down the road here.
And/or music, determined to facilitate cognition. And now...
I can't rightly say, and that is rather concerning in its own right. It seems our temporary ceasefire with the corporatists may be at its end. Yes, this was an active war zone until recently, and now seems like it may be so again. Not quite certain why the attack was launched, but that is not under my purview. I'd surmise that when Auntie's Choice realized they couldn't get through our defensive measures, they wisely chose the path of diplomacy. Seems I was mistaken. They must have done something to provoke an attack, which is why your safest path now is the one that leads to Matriarch's Mercy. The Order controls everything south of this point, but the rest is beset with various dangers. Zealots, scavengers, creatures, and corporatists. Well, not certain about that last one anymore after the attack. Cultists, mad to the last one. You can usually identify them by their outlandish,
Outlandish what now? Did you have a point you wish to make?
Their outlandish disregard for convention.
It's a good thing you're smarter than you look, or you'd be scraping your innards up off the ground right about now.
They're both unstable and violent. Auntie's forces call them scrappers, and uses them for just that, gathering scrap materials. Excessive abuse of stimulants has made them severely unbalanced and prone to violence. They've also been known to pose as refugees, to lure their victims into ambushes. There are several camps of them northwest of here. I'd strongly advise keeping your distance. The creatures are of the genus Verachnid. They are large enough to kill a full-grown human, and exceedingly willing to do so.
May all your endeavors elicit expected results.
I don't see anything else coming. Is it just the one?
inspiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, and also music. And now for some ageless wisdom from an academic so in touch with today's inquisitive youth. Time for Ask a Vicar with Vicar Magsaysay. The charismatic mathematician is always a popular topic. To wit, a listener asks, what's this about the mathematician and his propensity for questionable ethics?
A bold query. Yet we do not shy from our founder's flaws. Yes, the charismatic mathematician did have feet of clay. For one, he was a prolific author of venturesome fiction early in his career. These narrative larks did not, shall we say, endure time's unkind judgment quite like his world-shattering humanity-ascending principles. Nor did his associations with entities outside academia, which do not always benefit scientism. But come now.
What have we got here? Makeshift fortifications, refugees backed into a corner.
No one knows everything.
Disaster waiting to happen.
About our order you're bursting to ask? Relay your query at your local predictory post haste. Keep put. Much is left to come.
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
I remember this place before the war. Functioning tramiculars.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders and the Order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Cloister is looking pretty good right about now.
A wasteland devoid of life? No, Arcadia is doomed. Plain and simple.
I swear, it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
Algorithmic dissonance? Don't even like the sound of it. How could something be incalculable? Why, the very idea is preposterous. And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Distraction and I are old colleagues at this point. My part in these shared circumstances is admittedly somewhat unique. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate, to show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. I am sure they bear any inconveniences with grace and dignity. I mean, the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy has some pretty compelling numbers. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors. Longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. By quite a healthy statistical margin, yes. We nurture the body while we minister to the mind. We organize, we adapt. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to it I shall get. Try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Not to worry. I'm fine. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter. I think I'm gonna vomit. No, wait, it went back down. I'll try not to sneeze on you, but no promises.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Show your workers shove off. I've got your numeral. Keep moving. No reason to reason with you.
Broke my nose last scrap.
Or, I guess Raleigh Dortmunder did, huh?
I still don't get any of this. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now. Okay, no need to get sore or nothing. I don't think it works like that, but I ain't gotta be right. I don't get paid to, speculate. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borscht loaf.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you.
Oh.
Ow!
Looks like Sub Rosa. Always find flies circling corpses.
Keeping everything above board? I hope not.
You got business? No? Move on. So's the place we used to stash the bodies of those too nosy to know better. You got me? You got business? No? Move on. You the fixer-lyncher aide to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh? Forget it. You can come in.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Hmm? Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention. Oh, really? Like they strung a few words together in a row and it all made sense? That's a marked improvement on earlier. Guessing they left out a bunch, though. Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. It's the Order, so they don't kick you out or nothing. It's all community betterment volunteering. If you're former Auntie's Choice, it smacks kind of like work for free. If you're former Protectorate and it don't involve Automax, it's all terrifyingly mystifying somehow. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument, but frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilists, and a cicanid to feed. Don't make me call Mapother and Mudge over. They don't like no fighting for free. Go on, get out of here. Scram!
Don't do anything foolish. Hello, hello. You're the one that aided us in availing Sub Rosa of a rather large shipment of Spectrum vodka, yes? Agent Galloway is slightly less trustful than most feral canids, so winning her over speaks volumes of your character. Consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. It's fortunate you're no stranger to contraband. It's superb cover and a consistent market. Refugees are in need of all sorts of supplies that the Order cannot provide, and Sub Rosa delivers, at only a reasonable markup. Myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environ. Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Oh, thrilling! Agreed. You'd do well in Sub Rosa with that philosophy. Supposing you didn't get killed anyhow. We stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war, and maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Anti's Choice and ex-Protectorate personnel. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if the fighting stops, our income begins to go dry. Feast thine eyes on the merchandise! haven't seen my landmine supplier, have you? I hope he hasn't blown it. I kill me! And him if he doesn't show soon. What fine contraband might I supply you with this day? Savvier than you look. Might be that I've got an agent over by the Guardian Estates that I haven't heard from in a spell. If you perhaps find yourself over that way, and perhaps make sure that the aforementioned agent hasn't been torn limb from limb, Sub Rosa would be most grateful. Idle browsers will be escorted from the premises. You haven't seen my landmine supplier, have you? I hope he hasn't blown it. I kill me! And him if he doesn't show soon. What fine contraband might I supply you with this day? Savvier than you look. Might if you perhaps find yourself feet.
Your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte's nose.
Don't feel like no stand-in.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that our situation will improve in time.
Stop it with the predictions.
Since the schism,
you don't even know
the Protectorate have rewritten history to exclude our teachings. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh, dear. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here. With constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Perhaps some other time we can debate the theoretical complexities involved. But I fear I must get back to my duties. These laypersons won't enlighten themselves. The grand plan is the predetermined order to the entire universe. We can predict it down to a decimal point. Crowded. Just too damn crowded.
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt.
Welcome. Have you come to bask in the Order's knowledge?
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Oh, I don't know. Assume there must be all sorts of pointy bits? And I wouldn't want you getting lockjaw. Seen a lot of makeshift shanties capsize lately. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone. So they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes.
Choice troops have been aspiring bivouacked in trenches crisscrossing the highlands. Although the ceasefire exists, a healthy degree of circumspection remains advised. Newly introduced invasive species deposited here by Auntie's Choice have been determined to be territorial, toothsome, and aggressive.
Ruth Bassar is the first among equals of the Laureate Council. She will raise humanity to perfection.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
We're not going anywhere! Not on the basis of some half-baked prediction. This so-called exclusion zone is where we stake our claim. Stand with me in defense of freedom!
Show your work or shove off.
Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. Oh, you can give me more than that. Always appreciate it when the inferred part is spoken aloud. Hope your assistance is more tangible than that of the Order. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. Though, admittedly, it's a difficult way to make friends. The Order's not exactly fond of me. Rabble-rousing doesn't align with their vision of a perfect universe. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. Chance of life-threatening peril from a yet-to-be-determined catastrophe were the administrant's words. Not what I would call specific. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but you, maybe you'll have better luck. I got a pretty fancy gun I was issued back when I was a rising star at Auntie's. Side with us, and it's yours. Even throw in a healthy amount of bits for your troubles. Even the Order, for all of their logical ways, value an outside perspective. And because I've run out of options. Thanks, stranger. Maybe fate's on our side for a change. You can find Agarwal in the lift building. Probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict, with an 8.23 margin of error, that our situation will improve.
Stop with the predictions. You don't even know multivariable calculus.
Trying to cheer you up.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Don't bother. My prognostication report listed an 85.2% probability we'd have this conversation. This is about the exclusion zone, correct? Fair enough. The exclusion zone is a mere corner of Matriarch's mercy, and rightfully off limits. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. Surely. But the abbot asked me to be personally responsible for their continued well-being. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, "An outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute." And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold. I have some custom-made order armor I never use. I can also allocate some funds from my budget. At least, I can provide that if you side our way. That's more than the voice can offer. So, do we have a deal? The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. But you already knew that. Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
$1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. Well, if the Archivist said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one could hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you respecting my time. Yes. You may peruse to your heart's content, but do so speedily for my sake.
Every scientician yearns to visit the archive on Cloister. One day, it will process all of our equation by calculating the position of every... The meaning of life is numeric. And we are the keepers of the equation.
Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Continue poking around further, though. You must earn both sides' trust, you know. Have you spoken to all representatives of the Order? All of the displaced? The Doctor? The questionable types from Sub Rosa? Investigated the containers? If not, do. Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests. Good. Check in with me once you've made significant progress. As with probability, there is an art to mediation, and it requires a well-rounded perspective. Besides what I've already told you, to put it gently, disorganized, which is irregular for a group that prides itself on mathematical acumen. But with effort, patience, and collaboration, I am confident that Matriarch's Mercy will soon be a haven for the displaced.
What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side. I predict that the...
Stranger. Vexing. We're at the mercy of the Order, and the Order is at the mercy of their predictions. Not to insult our gracious hosts, but these people don't wipe themselves unless an equation tells them to.
My knowledge sure is sore. Ow! My knowledge sure is sore.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in a predicament.
You ever cough so hard your ankles hurt? I'll try not to sneeze on you, but no promises.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish.
Keep your behavior within acceptable parameters.
There's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Worcester is looking pretty good right about now.
Thus, if we
Arcadia
if we factor for random elements offsetting certain key variables, upsetting the mock apple cart, as it were, we start to grasp the potential range of disruption.
Bread, crackers, mathematically unnecessary. A good soup speaks for
The
itself.
Protectorate have only been told a watered-down revision of Order philosophy.
By the law. It's you. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. Since you aren't a refugee, I hope you understand that I cannot offer my goods free of charge, but my prices are fair. Thank the architect. I knew you'd be back. Well, really, it was the seer that knew, but it is always nice to have his predictions confirmed. I can tend to your injuries, provided you have the bits to compensate me for my time and skill. We're short on everything, I'm afraid, including generosity. You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation. Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me. Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very, very, very good at predicting what is probably most likely extremely possible. In theory. Within a margin of error. Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is the health and welfare of this camp. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all. You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation. Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them. My thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks.